If screen time turns your child into a completely different kid the second it ends, this isn't a behavior problem. Your child's brain is hitting a transition wall, and the way we usually respond actually makes it worse. You set the rule, you give the warning, you're calm, you're reasonable, and then suddenly there's yelling, tears, or a kid who looks at you like you just ruined their life. This is usually the moment parents think, why is this such a fight? Or why does something so small turn into such a big explosion? And almost immediately, that question turns inward. Am I being too soft? Too strict? Am I handling this wrong? What's telling is this: if this were actually a behavior or respect issue, consequences would have worked by now. That's not a failure on your part, it's a clue. Because when screen time ends, what you're seeing isn't defiance, it's overwhelm. And when we respond to overwhelm like it's disobedience, we accidentally escalate the very thing we're trying to stop. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what actually is happening in your child's brain when screen time ends, why even good strategies like warnings and consequences can still blow up, and what actually helps kids get off screens with less fighting without threatening, nagging, or escalating the moment more than it already is. Think about the last time you were really absorbed in something, not just casually doing it, I mean in it. Reading, working, scrolling, zoning out. Now imagine someone comes in and says, hey, stop, right now, we're done. Even if what they're asking is reasonable, there's definitely a second where your body reacts before your brain does. You feel irritated, even offended, like, just give me a second. That's not because you're immature or dramatic. It's because shifting gears takes work. Your brain needs a moment to disengage, reorient, and move on. Now imagine your brain already has a harder time with that. Switching tasks takes a lot of effort. Regulating emotions takes more energy. And the thing you're being pulled away from is actually helping you feel focused and calm. That's what ending screen time feels like for a lot of ADHD kids. It's not that they don't want to listen, it's that their nervous system hasn't caught up yet. So when screens turn off and everything escalates, what you're seeing isn't a kid who's choosing to fight. It's a brain that hasn't crossed the transition wall. And this is where it gets tricky. Screens do a few really important things for ADHD brains. They grab attention quickly, they reduce competing demands, they offer clear structure and immediate feedback, which can feel easier for an ADHD brain to stay engaged with, even if it isn't truly regulating in a lasting way. So when screen time ends, we're not just asking them to stop an activity. We're asking them to disengage from something highly engaging and predictable and to shift gears fast. And here's the part that is really important. We're usually asking for several hard skills all at once. We're asking them to notice time passing, stop something they're enjoying, switch tasks quickly, regulate big emotions, follow directions. That's a lot. Those are executive function skills, and they're the exact skills that are the most vulnerable when a child is tired, hungry, overstimulated, or deeply focused. So if it feels like your child can get off screen sometimes, but melts down other times, that's not inconsistency. It's not manipulation. It's capacity. When capacity is low, transitions are harder. And screen time just happens to be one of the biggest transitions we ask kids to make all day. And this is where a lot of parents get stuck, because most of us are doing things we were told to do. We give warnings, we set limits, we try consequences. We might even stay calm and say it nicely. And when it still blows up, it's easy to think, okay, then I need to be firmer. But here's the problem. When a child is already overloaded, firmer doesn't feel clearer. It feels threatening. They feel overwhelmed. And consequences don't feel motivating. They feel overwhelming. In that moment, your child's brain isn't weighing options or learning a lesson. It's trying to get back to regulation as fast as possible. So the more pressure we add, the more the nervous system pushes back. That's why screen time fights often escalate so quickly. The adult tightens control because the child is losing control. And both nervous systems start reacting to each other. This isn't about permissiveness. It isn't about giving in. It's about timing. Discipline works best when the brain is regulated enough to take it in. And transitions like screen time are usually the worst possible moment for that. Which means the question isn't, how do I enforce this better? It's, how do I help my child's brain get across this transition without falling apart? So instead of putting all your energy into enforcing the end of screen time, the shift is to support the exit. Not because limits don't matter, they do, but because this moment asks more of your child's brain than it can reliably give on its own. That means your job isn't to make them comply faster, it's to lower the load during the transition. So how do you actually support the exit in real life? Screen time works best when the rule is already settled long before the screen is turned on. Not negotiated in the moment, not decided based on mood, just clear and predictable. Because when a child is overloaded, they don't have the capacity to process new information or debate fairness. The rule existing ahead of time takes that work off their brain. Warnings don't work because they're polite. They work because they give the brain time to disengage gradually. Think of them as building a runway. Instead of slamming on the brakes, multiple warnings given the same way each time give the nervous system time to shift gears. You can use timers, alarms, visual countdowns. They matter more than we think. When you're the one saying time's up, your child's nervous system is often reacting to you. When something external ends screen time, it reduces the parent-child collision and keeps you on the same side of the transition. If your child turns the screen off without exploding, even if it wasn't perfect, that's a skill worth reinforcing. You're reinforcing flexibility, regulation, recovery, and being specific matters here. Hey, that was hard, and you did it without yelling. That's how kids learn what worked. None of this makes transitions effortless, but it does make them safer for your child's nervous system and for your relationship. And once the brain can get across the transition wall more consistently, everything on the other side gets easier. This transition overload surprises a lot of parents somewhere else after school. I walk you through why afternoons fall apart and what actually helps in the next video. Click right here.